Hello, listeners, and welcome to our podcast, The Mind's Manual. I'm your host, Joey,
I'm your co-host, Fidel.
and today we have a special segment lined up for you all. We're going to talk about something that we can all ask ourselves: what motivates us?
Before we begin, I'd like to give a special thanks to our composer, who provided us with our theme music for today's episode. Now, let's begin, shall we?
Motivation is defined in the Oxford Languages Dictionary as the reason or reasons for acting or behaving in a particular way. For most of us, motivation is why we get out of bed in the morning and start our day. But the question we're exploring today is what specifically motivates us as people?
To me personally, I'm motivated by money. But in all seriousness, I want to ask you what you're motivated by.
When I think about what motivates me, the main thing that comes to mind is school. Right now, I'm mainly getting up out of bed every morning, every day, starting and going, driving wherever, just to get my high school diploma and to get out in the world. It's not to say that I don't want to go to college. I definitely have a few colleges in mind that I want to end up going to, but as of right now, the primary thing motivating me is, getting out of school and just going out into the world and joining society.
I would say, for me, I'm not motivated by school, but more the idea of not being in school.
hmm
So,
So by not being in school, do you mean like?
okay, to me, school has always been a very limiting place, and I want to graduate so that I can continue to pursue other assets of my character that I'm yet to develop. So I want to be able to grow as a person in the way I felt like I haven't been able to at school.
Yeah, I completely get that. And part of my motivation also has to deal with that. But in order to get there, I feel as though this is like a stepping stone to that. So I have to like do this. Not everything, not the same thing isn't going to motivate everybody. You say you want to get out of school. Right now, my main thing is school. And although they're two different motivators, it gives us a similar motivation.
Yeah, very similar end goal,
Mhm.
just different ways to go about it.
Right. When it's broken down, motivation can be as simple as setting goals for ourselves, things we have to get done. But what can we do to achieve those goals?
I would say that we can break down one big goal into several smaller goals that are
Mhm.
more achievable.
When you look at it, there's two different types of goals. There's attainable goals and reaching goals. And setting little attainable goals with it that you can complete within a small time period is a great way to set the foundation for your reaching goal. Your reaching goal could be like, I want to get a super fancy sports car. What are you going to do, today, in the next couple months, in the next couple weeks, in order to start making steps towards that goal?
Yeah, I would say that for the hard to reach goals, I like to think about a quote that goes, aim for the stars and you'll still reach the moon. So even if you think your big goal is unrealistic, as long as you work towards it and keep your mind on that goal, the worst that can happen is that you'll fall short, still ending in a place that you want to be.
Exactly. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have today, folks. But before we go, I'd like to recap what we've gone over in today's segment.
At the root of it, our goals, no matter how big or small, are what motivates us.
Motivators can also be intrinsic or extrinsic, being something inside of us that we feel we need to do or something external that makes us act. But the most important thing that we need to take away from today's segment is that only you are able to act on your own motivation. You can have all the goals and motivation in the world, but it doesn't mean anything unless you get out of bed and you do something about it.
Before we go, I'm Fidel,
And I'm Joey, and thanks for listening to The
the
Mind's
Mind's
Manual.
Manual.